Seasoner
And Co!
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Welcome to Second-Hand Holiday, where we read the signs around second-hand atrocities in second-hand prison sites and try and make sense of them.
I don't want to say
This doesn't feel
fun of
good,
them.
does it? This doesn't feel good. Well, listener, as you may have guessed, Amber and I have just come back from our day trip to the Port Arthur historical site.
And it was a day trip. We were there 9 till 4:30.
And we haven't finished
Yeah.
because we're going back tonight for a ghost tour.
Yeah, we just did the regular sort of walk around
Yes.
today, the site.
Yeah.
Self-guided.
Absolutely self-guided. Aside from a brief trip out to a specific island that we'll get to in a minute. But, well, let's not ruin the entire historical site experience, because you should probably get out here if you're an Australian.
Yeah.
But we can recount the ghost-connected stuff that we experienced along the way.
Oh, I won't talk about my boy Alonzo then.
Oh, we could talk about your boy Alonzo. Tell us, who's your boy Alonzo?
When you arrive, they recommend you go down into a gallery where there's a whole bunch of set-up information about the site. And one of the things you can do, and yes, I suppose it's meant for children, but what you can
It's
do
meant for anyone.
is they have a big wall of convicts and you draw a playing card that's got art of a particular convict on it, and that's like the card you draw is the one you go and look over and you read their bio about who they were.
And which card did you force a draw from, Amber?
What we just browsed. We decided not to take a card. We were just browsing, and the 5 of diamonds, Alonzo Johnson,
Hell yeah.
from Leicester, England. He was a comedian. That was his trade.
Yep.
And
Trade shoemaker? No. Carpenter? No. Comedian? In the 1800s, apparently.
yes, he was convicted in July 1844 for sodomy with David Denham.
Yep. We have our... Well, this guy should be the king of diamonds, not
The Queen of
5.
Diamonds, please,
The Queen?
as we might find out later.
True.
And basically I went, what? A gay comedian? This is our man. We are following his story. And then there's a supplementary plaque somewhere hidden in the site that then you go and learn about what happened to that person later on. So
Generally where they ended up.
yeah. And he went to jail for sodomy, but Port Arthur was a secondary prison, so it was like bad prison. So if you misbehaved in regular prison, you got sent to this prison.
Yeah, what if we had a second Mina prison?
Yeah. He got sent to Port Arthur for disobedience of orders.
Yep.
He wasn't taking nothing.
Nope. This could be a little bit of a briar patch situation.
Yeah.
Oh no, don't throw me in the
don't.
yard with all the boys.
No, don't say it like that.
With all the guys. Hard-working men. And what happened to our Alonzo? We found his plaque just next to an empty field, right? Because
Yeah.
his important building burned down in the 1890s.
Yeah, the part of his story is gone now. Basically, he continued to reoffend his entire life due to theft. He just kept thieving, apparently. And the image on his plaque was
Like a pair of high
heels and a
parasol
parasol and a
dress.
stole or something, yeah.
Yeah,
Which we took to meant that they kept saying he was stealing women's clothing.
I suspect so.
Yeah,
Or
so-
he was caught with them, and the lesser punishment is I was stealing them rather than I was
Yes,
wearing them.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, he died in 1892 at 72 years of age in the Newtown Paupers establishment. So he didn't have anywhere to go after he got out of jail, and they sent him to a pauper's house because he had no choice.
Which is basically jail light.
Prison light, there's nothing
Yeah.
to do, yeah. Anyway, that was the story of... I enjoyed doing that. That was fun.
Well, along our journey with Alonzo Johnson, we visited most of the attractions. Doesn't feel like the right word. Sites.
Yeah.
Sites around the park. Park doesn't even feel right, but I think it is.
Yeah. And we took the EMF reader.
We sure did. The lovely EMF reader that spikes whenever ghostly activity is around.
The first instance we found of something was in the parsonage, which also was the post office.
Yeah, a multi-purpose building that's been a number of things
Yeah.
at the time. and it kept on pinging whenever where I was pointing it to the ground. So I suspect there's probably just some wiring under the building.
Yes, that's right. You were in like the back drawing room or something, and yeah.
Yeah, there was at one point a wine bar, so I could be picking up residual spirits.
And then I think the next one we found was in the junior medical officers' quarters.
Oh, that was a nice
And that
place.
one was really going off.
Yeah, that wasn't just like a little one. That was like full-on EMF'd. But again, coming directly from the floor.
Yes, it was always towards the floor.
So I guess there's a lot of crawl space under these buildings. They can't put wiring through the historical walls, but...
So, because some of the rooms are done up to look how they used to look. They're furnished and fabricated to look how they were, and others are just a plain room with nothing in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so there's all different kinds of things that you can walk through and see.
And what was the third place that pinged?
You tell me. You saw it. I unfortunately was looking the other way.
That's true. This is one much like the soap from our last holiday that only one of us actually witnessed.
And it was in the Commandant's house, which was by far the fanciest place. The actual full manor house.
Yeah, all kitted out with what would have originally been there.
Yeah.
Except for one room, which contained, I think, one single piece of historical artifact.
Yes.
Which was a little glass case
on the floor.
On the floor. Glass case on the floor of the creepiest little wooden doll I've ever seen.
Yes. Callum's face when the EMF reader apparently went off, it was like, Amber, look at me.
Amber, get the video. Get the camera. And like, I pointed at it, it pinged, I moved it away, it stopped, I moved it back, it pinged again, I moved it away, it stopped, and then Amber got the camera over, and I pointed at it, and nothing happened.
It was on to you.
It was.
It knew. It was like, oh, someone's trying to record me, not today.
Yeah. So we have our first mischievous little puppet ghost.
I know it isn't haunting related, but I think you should mention the chapel.
Oh, damn. Yeah, okay.
That was one of the most insane things we saw.
Yeah, this is one that I think you may have to see to believe. And we've got a couple of photos that we'll put on Instagram. But in, what was it, the Silence Jail? Officially called the Separate Prison, but unofficially called the Silent Prison.
Yes, where it's completely, as the name suggests, silent. Prisoners weren't allowed to talk, guards use sign language between themselves, and the only words that were ever spoken were the prisoner's number by the guard to get their attention.
Yeah. But they were good enough to give them a chapel.
Yeah.
Where they would all go to receive mass. Or likewise. But they all the prisoners had to file in. And instead of pews, they had like lecture theatre tiers. And every prisoner had their own little cupboard that they had to be in that blocked their sight from anything but directly in front of them, so they could only see the priest at the front of the room.
Like, I'm 5'3", and basically the front, it was up to my eyes, like the mask.
Like so the cupboard of the guy in front was blocking most of your view. Yeah,
and they were tiered down, so I would have been looking over his head, like he would have been under me. But yeah, my eyes were like the only thing peeking out.
Yeah. Insane. The closest to an
and
actual
little doors between them, like stalls, like cattle. So you put one in, close the door, put the next one in, close the door between them, put the next one in, close the door between them, and they're all lined up in their own little compartments.
Yep. It's the closest to an actual panopticon that I think I have ever seen. And if you don't know what that is, go look it up, because this is secondhand haunting, not secondhand history. All right, we've got one more little point to hit before we go and get ready for our actual ghost tour. Mm-hmm. Which was a cruise out to the Isle of the Dead. Yeah,
this is one we had to take a ferry to, and we also had to pay extra. So it was just us and a tour guide and 3 other people who did this one.
Yeah, well worth it, I think. I don't remember how much it cost, but well worth it.
I enjoyed it.
To go see the graveyard for Port Arthur.
Yes.
Is all out on this tiny little island in the bay.
And there's like 1,100 people buried out there.
Yeah, it's mad.
Crazy. They must be packed in tight in there.
They'd be on top of each other.
Yeah,
like, literally, families would be on top of each other.
Yeah.
The island's divided into 2 halves, the convicts and the...
Free men.
Free men, important
women.
men.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh. And the guide has an awful lot of information about
Yeah.
the tombstones and the people who may or may not be buried under those tombstones.
Yeah, because the convict site is completely unmarked, apart from a couple of rare exceptions.
Yeah.
But otherwise than that, it's like, yeah, they're just there. They're just under the surface, and you can't see them. You don't know how many there are. You don't know where they are.
Which is spooky enough as it is. But what did the tour guide say about the second gravedigger of that island?
That she's seen him several times.
Now, worth noting, this guy died in the 1800s.
Yeah.
She saw his ghost
Yeah.
standing next to a tree.
In a tree, I think.
In a tree.
And running away. She thought someone had, like, got away from the tour group and was running through the bush because she saw someone. But then they had everyone that they...
She did a head count and everyone was there.
Yeah. And apparently he really loves it when she talks about him.
Yeah.
She didn't tell us how she found that out, but apparently he does.
Who knows?
Yeah. But yeah, that was a fantastic little tour. It was really interesting hearing about the grave diggers who lived on the island. There were two of them at different times. That was fascinating.
Yeah, they don't just row a gravedigger out whenever they needed one. One just lived on this tiny island with 1,100 bodies.
Yeah, and it was the guy that none of them wanted to live with on the mainland. They just booted him off the mainland onto the island and went, you, go.
And the reason why? Well, you have to go on the tour yourself.
Yeah.
All right, speaking of tours, Amber, shall we go have some dinner and get ready for the
Excited.
evening ghost tour of the Port Arthur Historical Site?
I'm excited for this.
Dinner or the tour?
The tour.
Okay, let's go.
How's your door, Foley?
Creaky. How's the bed, Foley? Creaky.
Welcome to Motel Cast, where we sit on our bed in our motel and try and make sense of it.
Fun of it.
Sense of it.
Better decisions next time of it.
What do you mean I paid $320 for this?
I don't know if we paid that much. But enough about our poorly chosen hotel rooms, Amber. We've just come back from the Port Arthur Historic Site Ghost Tour.
Ooh.
What'd you think?
I had fun.
Me too.
Yeah, it was started at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Did the 7 o'clock time slot, so the sun was still up. A little bit.
Yeah.
For the first third of it, maybe?
Yeah, about that. By the end of it, it was good proper dark, though.
Yeah, by our third location.
Which was awesome, because I got to hold the lantern.
Yeah, Callum was the lantern bearer. The front lantern bearer with the candle.
Yeah, good old proper hurricane lantern. I was a happy chap before we'd stepped 1 foot.
So you led the party of people alongside the host.
Yep.
So we were at the front of the pack the whole time.
Hell yeah.
And then there was someone who was like the middle lantern person, and then there was like a back lantern person.
Yeah. So if the back lantern person felt anything on his shoulder, it wasn't one of us. That's pretty standard for Ghost Tour.
Yeah.
Fair. I don't think I'm spoiling anything there.
No, most times you go to one, they tell you to, this is the last person, no one's behind them.
Yep. So keeping in mind, I don't want to spoil anything for the tour, in case people actually want to come along and do it themselves. Their stories are their stories.
Yes.
Creatively and copyrightively.
Yeah, we don't want to spoil the experience or take anyone else's hard work and just republish it here.
No. But we can say that Tony did a fantastic job.
He was a great host. He had a nice, husky Australian accent.
Yeah. It was a good voice for spooky stories.
Yeah.
I did have a chat to him at one point while I was leading the pack with the lantern.
Okay, don't let that get to your head. Some of us weren't chosen as the lantern bearer.
I chose. My hand was the first one up.
Yeah. Can we have a volunteer? Oh, yep. Oh, you.
Can we have a volunteer?
You had a chat to Tony, didn't you?
Yes. He's been doing this for only about 6 months.
Okay.
And you wouldn't tell.
No, I thought he must have been an old hat at it. He seemed like very slick.
He was evasive, but he's been in the performing field, I think his phrase was.
I think that's
for a
part
while.
of the essence of being a ghost tour
Yeah.
person, is knowing what's important to hit. And
It's odd. We've had ghost tour guides come from both the performing arts side of things and the historical side of things now.
yeah, I would say that's about right.
Yeah, I would say that it is the exact midpoint, the exact nexus of those two things.
I suppose the third kind of host could be the person who came at it from the paranormal investigator side of it.
Yeah, I feel like we've had one of those too, and the other two were better. Not naming names.
I think one thing has been clear from everyone that we encountered at Port Arthur today is that all the staff care about the site and the people who were once there, and there's a respect for them and an understanding that things that were done to them were awful. They were all humans.
Yep.
But there's also another side, which is like the civil servant side of people that lived there. So there was a big mix of kinds of people that all lived there together at the same time.
Yeah, and we have historical and ghostly stories from both the convicts and the civil servants. And just in case anyone's wondering, importantly, nothing from the massacre in the 1990s.
Oh, no.
That is not touched by any of this
No, of
stuff.
course not.
There are still living people who are impacted by that tragedy.
Yeah. And then there were stories that were from people who had been on the tour itself.
I would say that almost makes up the bulk of the tour.
Which I think you find in a lot of ghost tours.
Yeah.
There's always stories about things that people have encountered on the tour.
Yeah.
And this was some fairly, also I would say, standard things that we've heard.
I thought you turned that fridge off.
No.
It's just chosen now, huh?
Sorry, but the fridge has decided to sing the song of its people to us.
I'll get some more Foley, shall I? Just a little treat, a little more verisimilitude about our accommodation choices for the listener there. Sorry, where were we?
There were some standard stories from people who had been on the tour that I would say we've heard about people from completely unrelated tours over in Adelaide.
Yep.
Things, I won't give away too much, but like scratches appearing on the back of them. We've heard that before. So it is, curious to hear about that phenomena happening again, although I think
like strange scratches and welts in abandoned buildings.
Yeah, I think that one's pretty cut and dry.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a bug, guys.
But that's not, I want to keep this positive.
Yeah, that's not a complaint.
That's not a complaint, no. It was a very, very great tour.
The delivery was fantastic. There was a little interactivity
Yeah.
for me, being the lead lantern bearer.
All the lantern bearers got a little bit of something to do. They do take a good approach at making sure everyone's safe, because it is a very hilly, uneven, like nowhere in that site is it even ground.
No. And if it is even, it's covered in wallaby poop.
Yeah.
And look, it's great going on a ghost tour as well, and there just being wildlife around the place.
Yes.
Like, there's not just a wallaby wandering around, there's a whole herd of them bouncing around the park at night. There's crows making their nests for the evening. There's swans in the river nearby making little honks. Lots of things can give you a weird vibe, especially if you're not familiar with the wildlife in the area.
I will say, though, at one point, a bird flew overhead, and I swear it disappeared into thin air, because I didn't see where it went. It just disappeared right in front of me.
Okay. Huh.
I don't believe in ghost birds, but
But they
I
believe
can't
in you.
explain where that bird went. It just like flew overhead, it flew in front of me, and then it was just gone.
Huh. Was it definitely the bird, not just the shadow of a bird above you that you were seeing?
No, it's definitely a bird.
Yeah, okay. Spooky.
So, what did you get to do that was so special as the head lantern bearer? I'm only teasing because it's you.
There's a long history of guests rebelling against me on this here show. And I shan't be having it. No. No, I'll be having it the same way that I relish the opportunity to knock on the door of the parsonage and ask Reverend Eastman, if we could enter his house, aka the most haunted house in Australia. Maybe, depending on who you ask.
Yes. To be fair, he did say it will always be 1 or 2 on the list.
I wonder what the other one is.
Yes, I'm not sure. I need to look up what
I'll Google it when I'm editing. Most sources seem to agree that Monte Cristo is the most haunted house in Australia. See episode 7 for that one. But the only people claiming that the parsonage is the second most haunted site seems to be the Port Arthur Ghost Tour company themselves.
And we were allowed to go in. Eastman didn't say no. I do wonder what would happen if you felt a cold chill or some kind of phenomena occurred that said no, and the ghost tour guy would just be like, "You heard the man.
Moving on.
Moving on to the next spot."
I'll say it was a good thing that we explored that particular house during the day and discovered exactly which floorboards in that exact room had a creak to it.
Yeah.
So that someone who will remain unnamed, maybe in this very room, stood on a creaky spot and kept on squeaking the floorboard.
Look, I was just shifting my weight naturally.
You monster.
And if that made the floors creak and people look around them suspiciously or whisper to their partner every time they heard the creaky floor, I mean...
You should get some of the pay from that tour.
But that Eastman house, like...
The parsonage.
It was a big focus of the tour. And it was pretty interesting. And no spoilers, but I my response to that was, the wheel turns and crushes you all.
What?
Well, like, the whole thing about that was that it was haunted because
I see.
The wife of Eastman got no financial help from anyone despite her husband's lifetime of dedication to the church and the government, and it's like, the Conservatives come for the wheel crushes you.
I dare say that the extra money that he had in his pocket every day that he kept giving to prisoners was meant to be his and her retirement fund.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I can't say he did a bad thing by helping prisoners financially, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Also, 11 kids, guys.
I know 11 children in that house. Now, it used to be 2 stories, so they would have had room for them, I guess. There would have been like 3 to a room minimum.
God, there's so many children.
On a reverend side. Raising your children in Australia's most notorious convict site.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what we spent the whole day thinking about.
Yeah.
Something else notable about that house, though. Do you remember what it was?
That was where we had EMF readings?
Sure is.
Earlier today?
Yeah, that was the first place that we had our little EMF lighting up.
And we had been talking about Eastman, and we sort of had been saying that he was a good guy.
Yeah.
And he is supposedly the ghost that haunts that building. So, maybe he liked that we were complimenting him, or maybe there's wiring under the floor in that area.
Yep. Who knows?
But it's fun to think that he liked that we were complimenting him for the good job he did.
Yeah.
Unlike that Durham guy.
Hey, now. He was argumentative, but also, as far as I can tell, also a good guy.
Yeah.
Who just didn't quite maybe know how to plead his case to the authorities and was a little more explosive than he needed to have been.
Oh, something else to talk about.
Yeah.
Have you heard the folk story that ivy doesn't grow where someone is murdered?
I had not until this very evening.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say at what point it's important for the tour, but I'm going to pause podcast. I'll look it up now.
If anything, dead bodies promote the growth of foliage because of the nutrients
it
releases. Yeah.
I got nothing.
Do we want to talk about this then? Or?
Yeah. Okay, we've had a quick look, and I will have a better look while editing. Mm-hmm. But I can't find any folklore about ivy not growing at the site of a murder.
It is a cool image, though.
Yeah, but the folklore doesn't exist, and at this time, neither does the ivy. So what?
Yes, that's true. The ivy all got pulled down. I'm amazed. At some point, I suppose Heritage decided to pull all the ivy down and...
It is somewhat destructive.
Yeah.
Like, it does work its root systems into stonework, and that's not good.
Yeah, you want to pull it all down. Because that, I will say, the stonework and stuff is immaculately preserved and clean.
Yeah, they have done a fantastic job preserving that site.
Yeah.
Now, is there anything else we want to talk about?
Yes, we went into the silent prison, which reminded me a lot of Ward, the last time we did a ghost tour.
Yeah, I'd love the chance to do an investigation in there.
Yeah, definitely.
Probably can't.
Yeah.
But would love to.
It was the long corridors with the cells on either side that just are reminiscent of what it was like to be in Ward.
And is it just me, or in the dark, did those corridors seem longer than during the day?
Yeah, they kind of did, didn't they? I really love when you're on a ghost tour, I kind of prefer to not look at the host, because I kind of feel like, well, I'm not going to see anything if I'm looking at the host.
Sure.
So I like to turn around and look down the long, dark corridors in case there's some kind of spookies happening, you know. I never see anything. It's always just shadows from other people moving.
Well, that's the thing. I was looking down towards the windows on the very, very, very far end of the building, which were bathed in a bit of a blue glow. And if I kind of shifted my focus around, I could see, like, black blobs moving back and forth across them. But I know that's just the fact that I'm in an extremely dark room with a flickering light and looking between light and dark.
It's the same when I was looking down the dark corridor towards what used to be the fireplace at the end of the corridor. It was just all black, shadowy blobs. But then we're all standing in a corridor producing shadows that are...
Yeah, most of the stops on the tour were lit by only one lantern, which is a great vibe.
Yeah, that's really cool.
No torches, only lantern. Now, as a final point tonight, you said you had a photo to show me?
Yes. So the host, Tony, did encourage us to take photos.
Yeah.
And he said that the photos might capture things that at the time we didn't see.
Uh-huh.
So I was taking photos, and to be honest, it was so dark that there wasn't much to take photos of. But I did take a photo of Tony standing outside the silent prison.
Oh god, that is creepy as hell.
It is creepy. So I took a couple.
Uh-huh.
And one of the other ones I took, and as you can see, he's standing still in all the photos that I took of him.
Sure, yep.
But then one that I took of him, this happened. And he was standing still in all the photos I took of him.
Uh-huh.
So whose hand is that?
That is extraordinarily creepy. Well.
It is, isn't it? He's zooming in on the photo. He's looking as a way to figure out that it's definitely Tony's hand.
Yeah, it's absolutely Tony's hand. I can see his sleeve.
It's not Tony's hand. He was standing still.
No, he's not. Look, in that photo, you can see his hand just poking out his pocket. Yeah?
Sure.
And then in that photo, it's not in his pocket because it's out to the side.
I'm pretty sure he was standing still the whole way.
Hey, what? Let's see. What evidence are we going to believe? The word of Amber, notorious liar?
What?
Or this extremely blurry, shaky photograph?
Tony, if you're listening, get in touch. I'll send you the photo.
We'll put it up on Instagram or something. Whatever.
It's a creepy photo, though,
it's creepy as hell. Yeah.
Like, compared to the photo that just happened seconds before it.
They're frankly all creepy. Your camera rules. I would love to look at the rest of these photos sometime. But, sorry, another landscape photo there of the prison bathed in an eerie yellow glow by floodlights.
They do an amazing job of setting an atmosphere in that place at night, because the only people around are the ghost tours. There's no one else on that side at night.
Who else are the lights for?
So the lights illuminating the penitentiary and the chapel are all amazing.
Yeah.
And they're all lit from the inside, so from the outside, the facade is dark.
Yeah.
And then it's the inside that you can see, and they all look beautiful.
Check out Instagram for some more of that. But I reckon, for us, for tonight, it's time to hit the sack. Yeah.
17,000 steps later, and it's time to go to bed.
Yeah. We'll get in touch again if we have some more spookies on the trip. Welcome back to Second-Hand Holiday, where we've finally reached our extremely extravagant, lovely hotel, as opposed to that last one. And we're gonna have some investigation in it.
Yes, for context, in the last hotel, we were both recording sitting on the second most uncomfortable bed we've ever sat on.
Yeah.
And now we're sitting in a historic dining room.
We sure are in the Woodbridge Hotel, which is in New Norfolk, or New Norfolk, for those of the accented persuasion. Which is a stone's throw from the Willow Court Asylum.
Ooh, which we wish we could go to.
Yeah, it's a shame. The building is currently undergoing renovations, and it is the Easter long weekend, and they're just not going to bother putting on a half-hearted tour.
Yeah.
Can't blame them. Can't blame them. But I have found a story from the old asylum that we might get to a little bit later.
Ooh.
But first, Amber, what do you say we check this here old historic building for ghosts?
I say that's a good idea. We do know that potentially there was some unfortunate child deaths in this house, but only because that was very common back at the time when this house was built.
When you have a dozen children, you don't expect them all to survive.
Yeah.
Now, I've brought along my handy-dandy EMF reader, which I realise I might not have explained how this thing works on mic before.
Oh, have you not used it before for an episode?
I don't think so, no. But
I got it for you for Christmas.
Yeah, it was a wonderful Christmas present, one I've been having an awful lot of fun with around Tasmania. Let me turn it on. All right, it's ready. So this thing detects any milligauss in the environment. Right, so basically electromagnetic readings. It will ping and give me little lights going all the way from green through yellow up to bright red to tell me how strong the reading is. Now, allegedly, this can be used to determine if your electronic devices in your house could be giving you cancer. And then when they realised that was bunk, they thought maybe you can use it to detect ghostly activity.
Ooh, you're getting a read there. Oh no, you're waving it around.
Yeah, you bought it, so you know that it's the cheapest model on the market.
Yeah.
It came with an instruction manual from like 1989, so I think it's just been sitting in a warehouse since then. It is a little prone to just pinging briefly if I move it around a little too hard, like the wiring is a little loose. But I'll try and hold it steady. We'll move this around the hotel, or at least the areas we have access to.
Yes.
And see if anything triggers it.
Sounds like a good idea.
Now, for reference, we've done this in our own house. And do you remember what gave us a reading?
The microwave?
Yes, the microwave when it was on. Also, the ceiling fan. Also, the pedestal fan. AKA anything with a rotational motor that would give out...
Yeah.
I forget what it's called, but it's an electromagnetic phenomena. All right.
Let's go for a little wander.
Yeah. Just a quick note that the following section has been edited for time, but not for content. Everything that happened is still there. We're currently in the dining room of the hotel. It's a little echoey. We'll get out of here soon, we promise. But let's see if anything in here triggers it. Amber is clean. The wall heater is clean.
Don't just scan electronic devices.
Okay. Are you electronic? I'm walking around. I'm not really getting much from this room anywhere at all. Let's just check the kitchen where we have our cheese entering room temperature, because it's a bit of a BYO hotel. Nah, nothing in here. Not even a... Ooh. Very briefly the fridge, but that could have just been me. The exit door, nothing. The fireplace, nothing.
Well, you meant to ask the ghosts if they're here to coax them out.
Oh, ghosts, are you here?
I hope no one's in that
Nothing.
room that you're standing out the
That
front
would
of.
be hilarious. Sorry, room 5, aka the academy. I don't know if there's anything downstairs.
I don't think we should go down.
I'm not going to go down there.
Because I think that's probably just a room.
Right, the old historical way with an old letter that must have been pulled out of the building works. Ooh, we actually got a little bit on that.
On the letter? Oh.
I can't replicate it though. What else we got? Some old nails from the building works.
An old horseshoe, half horseshoe.
Ooh. This old pair of calipers, question mark, just pinged very briefly. I should say, these are like lovingly framed and were found during the restoration works that the owners had performed.
That's incredible. There's a lot of care taken in this place.
It is. There has been.
What about floor teapot?
Floor teapot? No, nothing from floor teapot. Now that's not trash, I think it's just for watering the potted plants in here. The spooky end of corridor mirror just pinged a little bit.
What about the portrait
Ooh.
of the Shardlands? Mr. and Mrs. Shardland.
Anything from them? No. Occupants in the house during the 1800s? And is what some of the suites are named after.
Another little brooch. Moby Dick, maybe? Or just a new Tasmanian whaling scene.
Yeah, I think that's more likely. Tasmania, famous whaling operations. Ooh, we got something. We got something serious over here. No, I'm getting yellow. Oh, it's bouncing up into yellow. Amber, what is that? What am I pointing at? Can you tell me?
It's a smart clock.
That's a smart clock. Oh, something else in here. In the cupboard. Wow, that's going nuts.
Yeah, it's definitely the...
Oh, what's this? Is it the Wi-Fi router? It is.
Okay, let's move away from the Wi-Fi router. And we'll move into the lounge.
The lounge, yeah, the parlour, the den. Cozy as heck, lovely oriental rug. There's more pillows than you can shake an EMF reader at.
Don't forget, you need to do the historic sleeping caps.
Oh, I do. I'm currently wearing my own nightcap that Amber bought me for my birthday. Or was that Christmas too?
That was your birthday.
That was birthday. But we have two legit old nightcaps here in display. I'm guessing it's his and hers. It's adorable. Let's see, what are we all?
Hello, nightcap owners.
Mr. and Mrs. Sharland, is that you?
Oh, there was a tiny ping.
There's a tiny ping. No more ping than I would get from just accidentally bumping the thing. But maybe we'll come back to that with a spirit box if we're so inclined. Perhaps I'll edit that out if I'm not so inclined.
Nails, lovingly framed in all kinds of formations.
Yeah, I've never seen nails in so many orientations before. Yeah, nothing much around here. Not even the space heater.
There is a lovely old brass telescope that's pointing out at the river through the window, which is gorgeous.
Oh, there is. Would you want to try and get that focused? I had trouble earlier.
It's hard with glasses.
It's hard with all the dents on the telescope.
No, I don't think it can be focused.
No, that's a shame.
Unless it... Oh, hang on. I think it was just pointing at a dud.
I mean, it is pointing through like an ancient double-paned window.
No, I don't think it can.
Alright. We'll enjoy the aesthetics, if not the view.
And the practicality.
Yeah.
Shall we head upstairs to the tower?
Yes.
Which is where we are staying.
We are staying in the tower room. It's a, hexagonal room on the top floor of the hotel?
Yes.
Yeah.
The steamer.
We've got some old luggage, old steamer trunk here with some old, what would you call those? Shoe irons? Something around which you would make shoes.
Oh, no, you put them in your shoes when you're travelling so they don't lose their shape.
Ah, there you go.
I'm surprised you didn't know that.
I am too. Oh, and but these nails.
Oh, but these nails?
Oh, but these nails briefly pinged. The one's organised in what looks like either a fence or a musical score. Oh, yeah, no, that's really going. Getting a full-on yellow here.
Wow. Who'd have thought on the nails?
Oh, it's gone now.
Doesn't like me. I'll go away.
No. I'm surprised it's okay with our Bluetooth microphones, frankly. Excuse the sounds while we ascend the stairs. Now, before we go into the room, I think we need to test something that's in the stairwell.
Oh, the old bath?
I wasn't thinking the old bath, but I will. No.
Oh.
It's the framed early Victorian fine silk socks and handmade leather booties that are on the wall here. Because, of course, allegedly, our room was the old children's bedroom.
The nursery.
The nursery, that's the word for it. And includes a loft in which it is theorised that the maid or nanny used to live up there. And the hatch is still in the ceiling. It just has a glass pane over it, so we can see up into an incredibly creepy dark space above our bedroom. Obviously, it's the first thing I'm testing.
Yes, imagine being a maid and you have to climb up a ladder out of the kids' room into your crawl space above them. You would definitely be pulling that ladder up after you so the kids couldn't get in there with you.
Jesus, yeah. I suspect with 11 children in here, she probably didn't spend a lot of time up there.
That's true, there was 11 kids. They must have had bunk beds.
They must have had a choir.
5 sets of bunk beds and a cot at any one time.
Yeah. Alright, well, there's no readings from that. No readings over in the storage section here that includes our bath fridge. Should probably test our luggage while we're here, huh?
Just in case that girl ghost from Port Arthur climbed in
Oh, God,
and came
yeah.
home with us.
Oh.
Sorry, spoilers for the Port
The
Arthur ghost tour.
Yeah. No, nothing over there. Nothing in the TV, entertainment and red wine section. Nothing on my side of the bed.
Would it be creepy to say, "Children, are you here?" Yes, it would be creepy to say that. You've got to coax them out.
Yeah, children, are you here? Does anyone want to come and play?
Oh, God.
Nanny, are you here? We're going to misbehave in this room. I'm not sure what that look was. Nothing on Amber's side of the bed.
Good.
Nothing even from the split cycle aircon that's currently on. What about the bathroom?
It's so safe. You're not going to get cancer from that split cycle aircon.
Nothing much in here. In fact, I feel confident declaring this room is clean.
Yeah. So it looks like there was only some readings from some of the older relics, like the nails.
The nails or something in the room behind the nails?
Yeah, which we can't go into because obviously we can't go into all the rooms.
Yeah.
So we unfortunately don't know what's in some of those rooms.
Oh, it could be ghosts.
Glad we're not staying in those rooms then.
Me too. Wait, am I? Yeah, probably. Well, I think that about does it for our sweep of the Woodbridge Hotel.
Yeah, we can do a Willow Court Asylum story later, maybe.
Yeah, but first, let's go have some delicious cheese dinner. What do you say?
Well, it's not just cheese.
No, that's true.
It is a charcuterie board. Let's
It
go
is
have our
also
charcuterie
crackers.
board. Yes.
All right. I'll see you in a bit, guys. We've had our cheese, we've had our wine, we've had our crackers and everything else between.
Yum.
What do you say we kick off the rest of the evening with a ghost story?
Sounds good.
Yeah? Since we can't go to the Willow Court Asylum ourselves, I did manage to grab a story from one of my books before we left.
Convenient. I'm
Yeah.
guessing one kind of like Australia's Most Haunted or something like that.
Funny you should say that. It's from 100 Tales from Australia's Most Haunted Places by Ben Pobjie, who we have not done on the show before.
Okay.
This is a fresh book. I don't tend to use it because it's already kind of written a bit funny already.
Ah, okay.
I think, honestly, Ben Pobjie, if you're out there and you're listening, flick us an email. Links in the description. I'd love to have you on sometime.
You can email him.
Oh, I could.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, that would make me legitimate or something.
Yeah. Callum, you've had a guy that claims he can talk to pets on.
No, talk to ghost pets,
Exactly.
not living ones. The tale from that book today is Winston of Ward 5 in New Norfolk, Tasmania. Determining whether the Royal Derwent Hospital, popularly known as Willow Court, is haunted is a relatively simple process. Just ask the question, is Willow Court Australia's oldest mental health facility? If the answer is yes, then of course it's haunted, you idiot.
Okay, I can see what you mean.
I mean, surely we know by now, if it's old and it once housed the mentally ill, there will be ghosts fizzing about inside it.
Fizzing?
Fizzing! I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
Every extant mental health facility in Australia, I think, claims to be haunted, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think we know as well from yesterday's tour
Yeah.
that they sent some people to Willow's Court after Port Arthur closed.
Yes, there was an asylum in Port Arthur, and when the whole thing shut down, they did send some people to the Royal Derwent Hospital.
Yeah.
Willow Court was founded in 1827 as an, quote, invalid depot.
A depot, you just drop them off there. They go in, they go out.
Depot is the bit of that name you have a problem with?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if the story's going to clarify, but do we want to say what an invalid is?
Someone sick.
An invalid is someone who, usually through disease or disorder, is unable to work.
Yep.
So they are an invalid member of society, basically, is the terminology. We've moved on. We do not use this anymore.
Don't give any politicians any ideas. Oh, that cutting edge political humour.
The governor of Van Diemen's Land, George Arthur, then decreed that he would, quote, concentrate all lunatics at New Norfolk. Whoopsies, I missed a footnote for this one, and that footnote reads, it sounds unfeasible, but there were a lot fewer lunatics in Tasmania back then than there are now, so they had room.
Let's put them all in one spot.
Yep.
One spot where I don't have to look at them.
Yeah.
Come on. What do you think Port Arthur was?
Yeah.
Put them all down there. Out of sight, out of mind.
I can't necessarily disagree with the logistical strategy of putting all of your mental health patients and resources in one place. Not terrible.
Is the eggs in one basket strategy one that we think is good?
Well, we'll probably find out.
Yep.
And lunatics, another wonderful old word. Different to invalid. So even back then, George Arthur was not using the correct words to describe his patients. Lunatic is specifically someone who is, like, deliriously mad.
Yeah, mentally unwell.
Yeah.
But I think as we learnt at Z Ward, not even. Like, some women were put in there that were just hysterical. Or hysterical in the old sense.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, these terminologies are fraught with danger.
Yeah.
And the institution became known as the New Norfolk Lunatic Asylum. A desire not to injure the patient's self-esteem while performing horrifically abusive procedures on them saw it renamed the New Norfolk Hospital for the Insane.
Okay.
Then, the Mental Diseases Hospital.
Okay, getting better.
Then, Lachlan Park Hospital.
Oh, okay.
Then finally, the Royal Derwent Hospital.
Fine. We got better. We got there.
Yeah. One hospital kind of traces the entire lineage of mental health institution names. Throughout all the name changes, one thing has remained constant. Marrow-freezing terror.
Ooh.
I hope they're not talking about the mental health procedures.
There's no such thing as marrow freezing.
I guess it's a step up from bone chilling, isn't it? In the asylum's abortion chair, and
Sure.
isn't that a cheery phrase? There is a spirit called Sarah, who seems bound to that spot forever. In the morgue is the spirit of a quite unpleasant doctor, who will touch your legs and neck if you lie on the slab.
Okay.
In Ward C, red hand marks have appeared on clothes and couldn't be washed out.
I want to see them. I want.
Good.
That sounds like tangible proof.
What is
Where
it?
is it?
What's the phrase? Believe but clarify?
I know what phrase you mean.
Yeah. Oh shit, what is that phrase?
Believe but confirm.
Yeah.
If that's the sentiment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trust but verify. Come on, guys. You should know that one. And then there is Winston.
I bet he's going to be lovely.
Amber, I don't know about you, but whenever a ghost gets a name...
Yeah.
I love it. I love it so much. Winston dwelled in Ward 5 of the old asylum, and he is not happy. What do you think he might not be happy about?
Well, any number of abominations that were performed upon him.
Mediums who have entered the ward have determined that Winston is his name.
Okay.
But he is also known as the male-hating ghost.
Right. Good for him.
Now, that's the gender,
Yep.
not the postal service.
Yep. Okay. I assumed.
Get these envelopes out of here.
Yeah. I guess they would have figured out his name was Winston through either like a spirit box or maybe they just read names.
Or making things up. What? As he has a habit of attacking male members of staff. Where Winston came from is unknown. Some say the ward used to house young drug addicts who dabbled in the occult.
Okay.
I want to check that out.
Yeah. I want dates as well. We've sort of stopped supplying dates for all these things.
I don't think they will start at any point.
Yeah.
Others claim that the staff held a séance in the ward one night and were interrupted, leaving the door to the other side open.
Okay.
Look, I'm just going to say, two things can be true, but I don't believe either of these are.
When you leave the door open and a wild Winston gets in.
Close the door, you're letting the Winston in.
Oh, look at that Winston over. That's not my Winston.
And what's your name, little boy? Winston. One way or another, Winston got into Ward 5 and has repeatedly shown himself to be displeased with his lot.
Got in. I think that's, interesting take that they think he got in rather than was always here. I guess at one point the male staff knew peace and then suddenly they didn't.
That's a good point. Have the male staff at the New Norfolk Lunatic Asylum ever known peace? I also picture Winston as like, when a bird gets in the house. Like,
Everyone's panicking.
Yeah.
Remind me to show you that video of the Irish people with the bat in the house later.
Okay. This is twice it's come up in 2 days. Yeah, I want to see this now.
You're doing a great job there. That's it. Stand up there. Oh! Did you get him? No, he's there. He's making a mockery out of you, boy.
Numerous staff at the asylum reported seeing Winston. He took the form of a white haze, sometimes with a torso and head, and would follow people down halls and into rooms.
I mean, that is creepy. That is a creepy image.
It's so deliciously close to Scooby-Doo, though.
Yeah, but also, hear me out on this one.
No.
Old building, probably drafty, not sealed properly, is, mist just getting into the building.
Well,
is it that cold?
Look around, we're in autumn now. I see no signs of mist or
Yeah.
fog. And that's just one 24-hour period. I do wonder, what is it, Head and Shoulders? Torso and head. I wonder if there are any busts of people around the asylum.
Maybe. It's a shame we can't go in and look.
It really is.
This whole holiday around ghost hunting and we've done one.
I know. Anyway, back to Winston. At times, on the ward were heard the sounds of feet scuffing along corridors, and something being dragged along the floor. Which is odd, because he doesn't seem to have feet or hands with which to drag.
Yeah.
Music would play from nowhere, and the smell of bread being toasted would fill the air in the middle of the night. Yes?
Isn't that a bad... If you're a human and you're like, is someone making toast around here? Generally, it's advised you go to the hospital very quickly.
Yep, that is an early warning sign of a stroke.
Yeah.
Yep. So, I wonder if perhaps seeing things and hearing music might be other warning signs of a stroke.
Would they have known that back then? Because there's no dates. Have we reached the point where medical science knows that the smell of burning toast is...
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know when Ward 5 is and isn't.
Do you think that's very interesting? If they didn't know that that's what that was a sign of, and people were complaining that they could smell that,
Yeah.
you would think it was weird. You would think it's supernatural. You wouldn't necessarily have figured out yet that it was a symptom of stroke.
Yeah. We certainly did know it by, well, I didn't grab the exact date this book was published, but it's this millennium.
Yeah. But the historical accounts that he might be drawing from.
Yeah.
But also music started to play on what?
From nothing, in the air. Woo.
Okay. Oh, sorry. It wasn't like a gramophone turned itself on.
No. Quote, music would play from nowhere.
Right.
On one terrifying occasion, a nurse discovered one of his colleagues in the office in Ward 5, lying on the floor, thrashing about and clutching at his throat.
Having a stroke?
When the victim spoke, it was not in his own voice. Stroke victims tend to sound very different.
Yeah, because they'd be slurring, right?
Yeah. But a deep growl. Yep.
Oh, dear.
The evidence is mounting. In that growl, he begged, "Get it out of me, get it out of me." Oh dear. A similar tale was told by...
No. They're all just having strokes.
Yeah, maybe there's something in the air, the walls, the ground. I don't know, can strokes be induced by something?
Only, no, that's epileptic seizures. No, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think they're genetic, aren't they?
I think they are. And I think even today, if you were to look at the population of New Norfolk, it's probably not that many families.
Yes, that is the stereotype of Tasmania.
Well, no, specifically this town. This,
Yeah.
like, we did at some point pass, like, a thing listing... It's in one of the halls here,
Oh,
in fact.
okay.
There's a manifesto of the people who came from the first prison island
Yep.
and founded here. And it fits on one
Small.
page.
So they'd all have, genetically, they'd all have...
If one of them was predisposed to strokes, then...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, depending on how often, like, these cases could be 20 years apart.
That's
We've
true.
got no dates to verify.
Yeah, this is the son of the previous victim.
Yeah, it could be. We don't know how far apart these accounts are.
Yeah. A similar tale was told by another staff member. They saw a white film appear behind a colleague who suddenly fell to the floor, grabbing at his throat and writhing desperately. Quote, "It feels like something is inside me," said the second member of staff.
Oh, okay. Did they not have the vocabulary or knowledge of medical stuff to understand what... I feel bad.
I don't know what a stroke feels like from the stroke side of things, so I can't really
I don't
say.
even know if they could articulate what was happening to them, maybe.
No.
But I'm sure that the medical staff reacted appropriately at the time, but the story makes it sound like it's in bad taste, as in they were like, oh, another one's been... Winston strikes again. It's like,
Yeah.
help you... Yeah. But I'm sure the medical staff acted promptly.
What do you think they should have done?
Well, my first aid would tell me they'd put you into the recovery position and...
Okay. And what do you think they did do?
Stood back and watched, or tied them down to a bed, like strapped them down.
Winston's attacks became so serious that the hospital appealed to the Catholic Church to perform an exorcism.
They did think it was a ghost. They're medical staff.
To which the Catholic Church replied, that isn't how exorcisms work, and maybe read a book once in a while, huh?
It's a bit snarky. There's only one book you should be reading.
Oh, wait for the snark, because Ben's added his own little footnote. Exorcisms are for people who have demons inside them, not for ghosts who get frisky now and then.
Wow.
Ben!
Wow. But also, yeah, that the medical staff looked at what was happening and went, ghost.
Ghosts, yep.
Not something medical is happening to these people. When did we discover strokes?
I don't know.
Yeah, interesting.
I don't know.
It was interesting because there were some medical things that they believe maybe were happening to prisoners in Port Arthur that they retroactively found from descendants of those people. Our family suffers micro strokes or something, or micro seizures. So they reckon that one prisoner had a micro seizure and died because he momentarily...
Because he had a seizure before he could get far enough away from dynamite he just planted.
Yeah, so interesting, this retroactive role of medical conditions we just didn't understand.
Well, let's look at the broader picture. All of these people have been sent to a penal colony because they didn't fit into Victorian society.
Yeah.
Were they just... I think they're just trying to get the quote-unquote undesirables out the way, right?
Yeah, that's very true.
We don't know what's wrong with you.
Yeah.
You seem to be causing problems. We'll call it a crime. Now go to Australia.
You've got demons in you. Go.
Yeah. Most of the sightings of Winston... I'd kind of forgotten about Winston, to be honest.
Yes, this isn't a historical medical podcast.
No. It's not second-hand hospitals. No, there's enough. Most of the sightings of Winston were quite indistinct. Bright lights, hazes, or films, which sometimes took a vaguely human shape. One patient on Ward 5, however, saw Winston in a far more explicit form. In her own words, quote, I lived on Ward 5. There was a ghost on Ward 5. I saw the ghost. He wore a black coat, white shirt, and black trousers. He smoked a pipe. He was scary. End quote.
Great. Great.
Is that a child?
Not necessarily.
No.
Remember, we're in an asylum.
Yeah, good point. I mean, we've at least got slightly more of a description.
Yeah.
Of any one of a number of men who might have been walking around that asylum.
Yeah. Remember, my parents were both mental health nurses, and my dad always told me about this one guy who would count to 3 and then clap. And then he would count to 3 and clap, and that's all he did.
Huh.
And my dad asked him one day, why are you doing that? And the guy responded, because I don't know how to count to 4.
Fuck.
And then continued to do it. So, you know, that's...
That's equal parts hilarious and heartbreaking.
Yeah, my dad never really knew how to take it.
No.
And then there was another woman who constantly believed that the Queen was coming for tea that day. Every day. That's all she believed. That's all she talked about. It's all she thought.
I mean, one day she might have been right.
So, you know, so that kind of vocabulary from a patient in an asylum, I can totally...
Yeah, not out of the question.
Because sometimes the problem they have is that their scope is so narrow.
Yeah. Ward 5 has since been demolished. A sound idea, to be honest, but on the grounds where it once stood, many have reported that Winston's presence seems to remain.
A coffee shop built there or something.
The end.
The end?
The end.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't think we're missing much.
I want to know what's built there. Coffee shop, like hardware store, like people still having, yeah. Funny though, funny that modern day building doesn't report anyone having a seizure. Like, I don't know, does lead paint cause something? Like, could it just be something in the ward, in the environment? It was like giving people anaphylactic shocks and like swelling their insides?
Possibly.
Like,
can something in the environment thicken your blood to the point where you have a stroke? I don't know.
No, like, it would be amazing if it was localised to the people of Ward 5. It seems crazy that they didn't think, okay, well, something here is poisoning us.
I feel like the genealogy answer
That
is
must be a big
more
one.
likely.
Yeah.
Although I don't have my normal resources upon me today.
Yeah.
I'm on holiday. But I will give it a quick Google when I get home.
Yeah, genealogy or environment have to be the cause. I mean, to blatantly say in the book people could smell burning toast.
I know.
That just tells you everything you need to know about that scenario.
It's so well known, it's a joke.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
After a little Googling, the quick answer is yes. Predispositions to strokes can run through family bloodline, and strokes are also prevalent in dirty environments, so polluted water, polluted air, or habitual smoking can all increase the chance of a stroke. Also, the burning toast thing really only happened to one guy, but like the first guy that was being studied for signs of a stroke, it was just particular to him. It's not something that happens to everyone. Phantom smells can be a sign of a stroke, though.
Well, do you have an MVP from, I'm going to say today's story.
Okay.
Maybe we'll look back on the entire holiday. But from today's story, do you have an MVP?
I don't know if there really were many people. I guess just Winston the male-hating ghost, because of that title alone.
Yeah, it's pretty good. My heart has to go out to whoever received that call at the Catholic Church. I said, no, this is not how
It's not how that works, actually. Actually, I think you'll find that's demons.
No, I'm not. The MVP is not going to be the author.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Authors are exempt in all but a very few cases.
Sure.
But hey, Ben Pobjie, if you hear this, reach out. We'll have you on the show sometime.
Word award? I guess, like, lunatic is fantastic.
Yeah, word award.
And also, yeah, lunatic.
Lunatic and invalid are the two that come to mind only because they're unusual.
And, like,
archaic.
Again, as my parents will both attest, having worked on psych wards, the full moon was the worst shift to get.
Oh, God, no.
It legitimately was different working on it. It riled them up, riled the patients up. So, lunatic,
yeah, because there's too much light. They can't sleep.
It's a good
I
word.
get grumpy if I can't sleep.
It's a good word.
Yeah, agree. Good word. Used poorly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But deciding to classify in the old days, deciding to classify someone based on the mental health at the turn of the moon,
Yeah.
we just wouldn't do that these days.
What did the person on the tour at Port Arthur say? That the term lunatic was because the person was off with the moon?
No, it's based on the cycle of the moon.
Yeah, but the tour guides explained the term lunatic in a way that I've never heard before, and I'm not entirely sure is correct.
I thought he said that it was because they were linked to the cycle of the moon, their mental health.
That's what I've always heard.
Yeah.
Which is why when he said something else, my ears picked up being like,
I think that's what he meant.
Okay. I hope so.
Yeah, I'm pretty
so.
sure that was what he was insinuating.
Okay. Regardless, we learned all about the differences between invalids, convicts, lunatics, and paupers.
Paupers, yeah, that's an interesting one too.
And was there one more? Oh, and free men.
Free men.
People of note. People who are allowed to have a headstone. Anyway, I'm ranting about something that we don't need to put on the podcast. But how about we turn these mics off and I go rant a bit more?
Sure. And then hopefully we'll be back. Maybe we'll go to the barracks in Hobart.
Yeah, we have more opportunities.
Yeah.
Though not more certainties of ghostly activities. But if we find some, we'll get back on mic. And if we don't, we'll do a little wrap up at the end of the holiday. Eh?
Yep.
Cool. All right, we'll see you then. Hey, Amber.
Hi, Callum.
Do you remember where we left off?
I believe we did a little tour, our own little hunt around the Woodbridge.
Yeah,
because no one else was there.
That's true. We had run of the place and we found nothing. And we were lamenting the fact that, unfortunately, we couldn't get a tour of the Willow Court Asylum because it was all closed for repairs, and also the touring company didn't want to bother running kind of a half-hearted tour on the Easter long weekend.
Yes.
But what did we find while we were just wandering around looking at antiques the next day?
The women's mental health ward.
Yeah, of the asylum, there was a women's ward. And at the time, that was open because there was an art exhibit in there.
Yes, that was to do with not just, an art exhibit.
It wasn't just a hireable gallery space.
Yeah.
It was an installation within the women's ward, reflecting upon the experiences of the women in there.
Yeah. I actually, just to say up top, found it to be genuinely one of the most effective spatial art exhibitions I've ever been in, if not the best.
Yeah.
Like, I think sometimes those spatial things, it's hard to really sometimes fully appreciate or get what the person is saying or feel like you're experiencing what they want you to experience. But this one was really powerful.
Would you like to describe what they'd done to the dilapidated old building?
Yeah, the building was pretty much left as it was, but they had hung giant spherical oblong
Like
semi-transparent mirrors.
I'd say the best I could describe is big, free-floating, oblong, concave,
Yes.
two-way mirrors.
Yeah.
Floating just in the middle of rooms, in the middle of corridors, in corners in front of windows, some of them tinted.
Yes. So when you looked into them through the back half, you didn't see yourself, you saw through to the other side.
Yeah.
But it was when you looked through the mirror on the mirrored side that it showed you in the space,
Yeah.
but like a bit distorted and a little bit, not grainy, but like it has a filter sort of over it. It's not quite, it's not crystal clear.
Yeah. It felt very claustrophobic in places. It felt very psychedelic in other places. It felt really weird.
Yeah, it really did a great job. Maybe also because I was a woman. Seeing, because it's different to like look across and just see you standing in a corridor of an old asylum. And it's kind of hard to picture, oh, that's what it would have looked like all those years ago. But the way that the shape of the mirror and the texture of the mirror reflected me in the rooms, standing there looking at myself, was really quite effective to go, oh, that's what I would have looked like standing in this space all those years ago with all those women. And it gives you this weird feeling because, as you say, it's sort of the convex thing makes you feel slightly detached from reality, but it's still presented completely natural, what you see.
Yeah. That accompanied by a piece of music by one of the Mona artists that just got more and more deranged as you walked through the place was really impressive.
Yeah, I think I actually could have done without the music. I think it would have been a different kind of effective to just have silence or just the wind.
Yeah.
Because that's what it would have been like for them.
Yeah.
But the music did add to the distorted feel of moments of it. It was very powerful. It was very enjoyable, and we had an impromptu kind of tour.
We did. So the person that was looking after the exhibit, that was docenting the exhibit, is actually one of the tour guides of the asylum.
Yes.
So she gave us a great little rundown of what the place actually was, what the rooms were, some of the stories there. It wasn't hugely in-depth, but she was very clearly happy to talk about it.
Yeah, it was enough.
Yeah.
To sort of to understand what the place was like. And it's been very interesting seeing the degree to which Tasmania and the government and the National Trust have kept some of these buildings. But this one was like completely as if it had just been left and nothing had ever happened to it. They hadn't knocked it down. No. It's still just there as is, and now it's a sort of space. I've worked in spaces like that in Port Adelaide that have just sort of been left.
Yeah.
To sort of not...
No one quite knows what to do with them, but also doesn't need the space, so it just stayed.
Yeah, and art is generally what is then used in those spaces because they are quite natural and you can get very effective results using those spaces for art. So, yeah, it was interesting.
So
It felt like one of the most sincere
oh, absolutely.
experiences so far here in terms of the connecting the history of their past. I will say, I don't know if this is correct for this podcast, but it is odd, I don't know if you agree, the relationship and the varied relationships they have with the convict past here.
Yeah, we'll get to some of that.
Yeah, it's very different from person to person to sort of hear and see how they handle this history.
Yeah. Now, the guide, the docent, whatever her official job title was, didn't give us any tales of hauntings in the building.
No.
That was not her job at the time. That was the job of the art, and that made that building feel haunted.
Yeah.
Just the vibe it gave was haunted.
Yeah, and even...
Not by ghosts, just by history.
And the mood and the horror of just the human horror, I suppose.
And it did give me a jump scare.
Oh, did it? Oh, that's right.
When I looked through a peephole into one of the cells and they'd tactfully put a mirror on the other side, so as I went to look through the peephole, I was looking back at me. Scared the shit out of me.
I also, they do talk about sometimes in ghost tours, people get weird feelings and they don't want to be in rooms, and
Oh, yeah.
there's a sensation when you go in there that something isn't right. And I had that experience for the first time ever in that room. But I don't attribute it to being supernatural. I attribute it to being her telling us that that room used to be a padded room. You can see all the marks on the wall where they've pulled all the padding off.
Yeah.
And I went in there and I was standing in a room that used to be a padded cell for these poor women who were just thrown in there and didn't have any proper care really given to them. And yeah, it made me feel really kind of sick, but that's just because the exhibit was so powerful and I had the historical context of what that room was.
Yeah.
But it's one of the first spaces I've ever been in that I've gone, ugh, I don't like this.
Yes, I think you'll find the feeling of uneasiness, nausea, continues through our next couple of events, occasions.
So we thought that the Woodbridge was probably going to be the nicest stop on our journey.
Oh, we were so happy with that place.
That was beautiful. We had it to ourselves. It was a lovely house by the river.
And then we drove to Strawn.
What happened in Strawn? Callum had a religious experience.
Venison made me cry. No, well, we'll get to that. We didn't have any preconceived notions of what we were staying in Strawn.
Yeah.
But when we rocked up to the Franklin Manor and drove up the gravel driveway past an old stately building, we knew something special was happening. And then we dragged our bags up to the front door, and when the concierge opened it up to let us in, I think our hopes were all confirmed.
Yeah.
That, screw the Woodbridge, we just found the best stop on the tour.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. How do you
Franklin Manor.
describe the Franklin Manor?
The most beautiful house I've ever been in.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. It almost felt like we'd stepped back into the 1800s.
Yes.
And all of the extravagance and comfort that implies with all modern amenities.
Yeah, like it was all vintage furniture,
Yep.
but it was the comfortable vintage furniture.
Yeah. Perfectly restored.
Yes.
Or perfectly
Preserved.
replicated,
Yeah, or
possibly.
replicated.
But we're talking, like, double story. We're talking concierge desk as you walk in. We're talking attached restaurant downstairs. We're talking billiards room. We're talking 2 separate open fire warmed parlours to sit in.
All run by seemingly a team of young French people.
Yeah.
Which was great because it meant it was a French restaurant, so
It sure
every
was.
morning there was French pastries for breakfast and French toast and
And a legitimate, honest-to-God wine cellar stocked
Yes.
with French wines
Yeah.
that you could just walk down into, grab one,
tell
and
them.
take to your room and
Yeah.
not charge it. have never and probably will never be in such opulence in my life.
Now, Callum, this is meant to be a haunting podcast,
That's right, that's
not
right,
a
that's right.
hotel review podcast. But shout out to the Franklin Manor if you ever find yourself in Strawn. That is
my
the
God,
place to
you
stay.
go- yeah, absolutely.
Callum shed nearly tears of joy when he ate his 4th course out of a 5-course dinner.
I don't know how they got venison that tender. It's not fair. Why doesn't mine taste like that?
And it never will. It's
Could
the
have
team
been-
of French chefs in the kitchen.
It could have been the fact that I was 5 paired wines deep by that point in the meal as well. Let's be fair.
But we were having such an amazing time, we forgot to do any kind of ghost tour stuff while we were there. We just didn't even think about it.
No. Not that we did nothing, though.
No, we did
No,
go to...
on the last day that we were there, while you're in the shower, I did a quick sweep of the room with the EMF meter.
Oh, I see.
Can you guess what I found?
Nothing?
Nothing. It was
Great.
clean. It was fine. Nothing. And then I thought, well, I can't take this out of our room because I suspect that if one of the extremely attentive staff asked me what I was doing, and I said, looking for ghosts, they might well go and make one for me. So that's the extent of our ghostly attempts of Franklin Manor.
Yes, we did go on the Gordon River cruise.
Yep. And part of that stop was to Sarah Island,
Yes.
which is one of the... Was that the first secondary...
Yes, I think so.
Prison
So they dropped them
sites?
off here in Hobart, and then they went to Sarah Island because Port Arthur didn't exist.
Yeah.
And they helped build Port Arthur, I think. Sarah Island convicts.
Possible.
Then
remember.
Port Arthur was the even harsher punishment from Sarah Island.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
There was some serious history on that island.
yeah.
But no ghostly history on that island.
Nothing that we were told about, no.
No. Good tour, though.
They also, as we previously mentioned, we went to the Isle of the Dead in Port Arthur. They
Yeah.
also had a cemetery island, but we didn't really get told anything about it.
No, it was a tiny little atoll, I think.
Yeah.
We not notable.
Very funny, though, I say funny, but we did learn that they did have Grommet Island, not spelt the way you think it's
No,
spelled.
I was so disappointed to
Yeah.
discover it was Grummet Island.
Yeah,
The bounce has gone from his bungee.
and Grommet Island was where they decided to keep the women, because that would be separate to the men. And there was a lovely sea cave that they could live in on that little island until they suddenly realised that it floods when
Yeah,
it
any
rains.
inclement
So they
weather.
quickly moved the women off of that island. And
And put more men on it instead.
Yeah. so, yeah, no really hauntings or haunted stops along in Strawn, which was fine.
No, it was just lovely.
But Callum,
you're
would
not-
you
you're not-
say that
oh.
after the river cruise for maybe the rest of the day, you felt like you had sea legs, mate? Like, you know,
Oh, yeah.
you felt like you were...
Yep.
Yeah, it was a weird
Whenever-
sensation, wasn't it?
Because it's the seas are a bit choppy when
Yeah.
you're out in the bay. Harbour, Macquarie Harbour. It's so big that there are tides, there are waves, and the catamaran that we were on is particularly susceptible to
Wasn't
that.
a catamaran?
Yeah,
Oh,
2 holes.
okay.
So there was a point, especially toward the end, where we were feeling the rocking.
Yeah, your beer went over.
Yeah, it did. I almost went over at one point.
Where were you when that was happening?
In the bathroom. And then, yeah, for the rest of the day, and even a little of the next day at morning, whenever I wasn't really looking at the horizon
Yeah.
or looking up, I could still feel the swaying.
Yeah,
of
which
it.
I'm sure people have been on cruises understand the sensation.
Yeah, so that was the first time that I felt that I walked into a room and I felt uneasy in a way I couldn't quite explain.
Now, put a pin in that,
Yeah.
and we'll come back to it.
Because we've just come from our final ghostly activity of the holiday on our final night here. And that was a dusk ghost tour of the Hobart Penitentiary,
Yep. And run by...
run by the National Trust.
Yep.
So it's a lot of history.
Which is, I think, different. So in Adelaide, our ghost tours are run by a third-party company that National Trust allow to come into the National Trust buildings.
Yeah.
They do not run the tours themselves.
To be fair, there is also one of those companies in Tasmania that
Yep.
does the same thing. It's just
Yes.
this particular
place is run by the National
Yes.
Trust.
So it is interesting to note that the ghost tours here are government employees.
Yeah. And not outcasts from amateur dramatic societies.
Oh, that's not fair.
No, it's not. But they clearly come from a historical perspective.
Yes, these
and
tours are definitely more...
not an entertainment perspective.
Yeah.
I don't want to harp on it too bad because...
Our host, I think, was definitely more of the historian background and less of the entertainer/public speaker background.
Yeah.
In stark comparison, I would say, to our last tour guide at Port Arthur.
Yes.
This is, I think, the total opposite end of the spectrum hosts for a tour.
Yeah.
Would have loved to have had the guy from Port Arthur
In the
do this one.
penitentiary, yeah.
Because I guess we don't want to be mean because, it's different for all kinds of people. Different people like different things.
Yeah.
I think we got the sense that this host, the demeanour and the delivery of the tour was not quite hitting the mark for what we thought the tone or nature of the tour should be.
No, and you could... A few moments I could kind of see the script as written and it's just not being delivered as I think the writer intended it to be.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, just in a interesting, unexpected. This is very light and breezy for the subject matter we're talking about.
Yeah, there was a lot of talk of the history of how awful the place was, but delivered in a way that was like, and look how they built our colony. And it's like, that's not necessarily a upbeat.
Yeah, hang on, we're talking about slave labour here, and then that just sounded like you were a Blue Peter presenter.
And they put them all in the giant hamster wheel, and they walked around for 11 hours a day.
And that ground their daily bread.
And if their leg got caught in the mechanism, well, it got mangled. And it's like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
Sorry? We're taking it very lighthearted. Like, I don't want to say that this was a bad host or anything. They absolutely were not. They knew their stuff. They knew everything. The tone sometimes was at odds with
The subject matter.
Yeah.
And it's also the first ghost tour we've been on where they artificially manufacture scares.
Yes, and after they do it once, they tell you up front there will be 3 jump scares in this tour.
Yeah.
And so maybe you kind of forget that
the
for the
first
first time. But after the first one,
Like, okay, they're going to turn off all the lights in here. They're going to get us all to turn off our lanterns. Because that's what they gave us all lanterns on this tour again. How was your lantern, Amber?
It was just a little LED lantern.
Yeah, nothing like my gorgeous old hurricane candle one. But it's like, okay, everybody, turn your lanterns off now.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. Where's the big loud sound coming from this time, guys?
Yeah.
Is it the old bucket in front of you?
Yeah, you're going to kick that over. The first time I will almost pay 1.
Yeah.
I can do 1 is fine.
Like, not to be fair, Port Arthur did also a similar thing, but it was a natural big loud bang. It was the door closing behind us that should have been expecting to close. And it's just, if you don't...
The host didn't gently close it. He let it slam. And it's like, yep.
That was well done. Well done.
And I don't mind with this. I did like going down into the catacombs or the...
Oh, yeah.
Again...
Sorry, we're back at the penitentiary now.
So at the penitentiary, they take you down into these tunnels where prisoners were held in the queue to go into the magistrate's court. And it's one of the most inhumane tunnels you've ever been in. When you hear what they did to them in there, we don't necessarily want to spoil it.
No, but I think it's fair to say, because they didn't. This should have a claustrophobia warning on it in a way that I've never had before. And it's an incredible way to show how inhumane these people were treated.
Yeah.
But also, I'd like to be warned ahead of time when I'm booking this thing if I'm going to be trapped in a dark corridor crammed full of people.
Yeah. We weren't too
Horrifying,
bad because we were on the end, so we at least weren't between others. But also because we were down one end when the big jump scare happened.
Yeah.
I was kind of not looking because I couldn't see anyway because I was right down the other end of the tunnel and there was like 12 people between me and the host.
Because we were trying to stay away from the very obviously intoxicated man on the tour who should not have been there. They were very clear about this.
Yeah. And they did a big jump scare while we were in the tunnel. And it's kind of like, okay, I'll pay it. 1. And it was like a door slamming or a hinge being clanged. And it's like, okay, but then we still like, oh, we now know there are 2 more.
Yeah. Oh,
and
that's the jump scares they're talking about, huh?
Yeah.
Couple rooms later, spooky bucket on the floor in front of the host.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It did have a historical context that she was talking about the bucket.
But there's absolutely no natural way that bucket should have gone flying across the room.
Yeah. Then you know for sure when the 3rd one's coming.
Yeah.
Actually,
we won't spoil it.
I would really like to talk about one of the locations. And that's the assistant jailer's cottage that came off of the exercise yard.
Yeah.
And people had graffitied the walls.
Oh, they had. So historically, prisoners graffitied those walls,
Yes.
and clearly people have continued the tradition to this day.
Yes.
Though the place was closed in like the 1960s, so some of that graffiti is probably surprisingly historical and recent.
Yes. But I was on the end cell, which had the most wall space.
Yep.
So the most graffiti. Now, I just took a photo of all of my favourite graffitis, if you would like to maybe look at them or read them out or just react.
Oh, what do we got here, Amber? I think we'll be putting this up on Instagram, probably?
It's up to you.
Jesus Christ.
Now, some of these might need to be bleeped or not included at all.
Faye Mundy's a dirty copper cunt. Lovely. Charming. What else we got on here?
Oh, it was just the bent copper sort of one that I wanted to highlight. I don't know, I like the idea of them slagging off the police in the...
Yeah, I mean, I fucked Detective Sergeant Cochrane's mother's daughter. Best boy. Mick T. Withering. He sucks cocks. Yeah, okay. Oh, who's this cute little guy?
I know.
Oh, he's Cocky Ken. Okay. That's just porn.
That is...
They drew porn.
No, hang on. Hear me out. What a great use of the little chip of paint in the wall, though.
Yeah, I'll pay that.
That's the reason I took a photo of that
Sorry,
one.
I don't think these are going up on Instagram, guys. Big Dan.
It looks like Shrek.
It does. Oh my god, that's Shrek. Ken, put that away. All right, that'll do.
Anyway, probably none of those are making it in.
No,
Cut that out.
don't. If you see up on Instagram like 5 just beige blurs, you'll know what they are.
But
Oh dear. Well, that's nothing to do with ghosts, Amber. We got to talk about some ghost stuff. What do you reckon? This felt like it felt like it was run by historians, in that you would just get a story from history and then it would end, and then it would be like, and some people say they see this in here or felt that in here. I'm not going to spoil their particular ghost stories.
Yeah.
Some of them were a little bit spooky.
the strength of this location, along with Port Arthur, they have the stories of gruesome deaths and unresolved spirits and conflict. This place has the luxury of being able to say 128 men and one woman were killed here, were hung.
120.
Or something like that, wasn't it?
18, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But a number of people were killed here.
Were literally killed here, hung to death here.
And this isn't spoiling anything because it's just dogma. But the first haunted institution I've encountered that it even attempted to explain why there might be ghosts there. And that is because after people were executed there, they would often dissect the bodies. And that runs counter to that particular brand of Catholicism's beliefs of, like, if your body is not whole after death, you cannot enter heaven. Therefore, the soul may hang around. Kudos to them. Friggin' well done for actually explaining
having that
in a logical way. And also, that actually makes sense historically about the people's beliefs and the punishments they were given.
Yeah, and it's just so strong in its basis. And I guess that's why we were a little upset about the jump scares, because, like, you don't need that.
No.
You have the most gruesome, awful tales of death and murder in this place. you don't need to rely on thrills.
No.
The stories you're telling us are gruesome enough already.
Yeah. Having said all that, we then got toward the end of the tour, where the old favourite comes out of when people are in this location, they sometimes feel unwell, uneasy, like the room's swimming about them. And they've asked us, is this scaffold nailed down? And we both looked at each other and went, oh.
Yeah.
Could these people have just been on a ferry to get to this very island? And then they've gone into a room where they can't see the sky or horizon and felt a little bit seasick.
Yeah, it's completely blocked off. You can't see anything. It's all like a little confined space.
Yeah.
And we're in Hobart, the port city.
Yeah.
Like, everyone has probably at least been on the Mona Rona
Yeah,
that day.
yeah.
Like, you know, there are...
Our drunk guy probably was.
Yeah, there were so many cruises and tours and things that you've probably been on that people saying they feel like they're...
That's the after effects of being on the ocean, guys.
Was unfortunately a very debunkable thing.
Yeah.
Also, I won't say the exact details, but also the host, like, libelled the government in regards to a primary school.
Yeah, that was weird.
Okay.
Asking beforehand, now, does anyone go to this... Because there were kids on the tour with us.
Yeah.
Does anyone go to, or know anyone who goes to, this particular primary school? Obviously, the answer was no across the board. There were obviously some locals there because they understood what was going on. But what does she say if there are people from that school there? Because that story's bananas.
Yeah. I think it also, if there was a government employee who's like, well, I don't work for the...
Yeah.
But I work for the government. Sorry, what are you saying we did? Can we talk about this?
Yeah, and maybe it's true. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I would assume it couldn't be. There's no possible way.
But look, we didn't hear it from them, so you're not going to hear it from us, listener. Sorry.
Yeah. It's not worth it. Don't worry about
If
it.
you're here, go on the tour and find out. 'Cause fuck me.
But I think with a different host, that would have been a great tour. Not the best I've ever been on because of the jump scares, but I think given the locations they take you into and the spaces you're in, they're really interesting and they're really spooky.
I do wonder, because there were kids on the tour with us. It's possible that our host was adjusting her delivery for the younger audience. I don't know.
I wouldn't say so. I'm disappointed if I got a kid tour.
Yeah.
If that's the case, I would,
I mean, look, we got the 6 p.m. tour. If we're on the 8:30 p.m. tour, maybe it's a bit different. But look, there's a world in which the sort of school teacher vibe can definitely work. It just didn't.
Yeah.
But speaking of kids, I do want to call out one thing that she mentioned, and then mention one thing that happened on the tour, both about children. The first being, now I'm not going to say exactly what the kids' story was, but apparently over successive nights there was one 12-year-old boy on the tour who said they experienced a specific effect in a specific place, and then the next night a totally different 12-year-old boy came on the tour and said he's felt the same thing in the same place. How can you possibly explain that? These boys didn't know each other, didn't they? How do you know they didn't know each other? Did you quiz them?
Yeah.
How many schools are in the area? 12-year-old boys talk.
I also think that, to be fair, we had a kid on the tour. They weren't that young.
That's the next bit.
They weren't that young, but they wanted to leave.
I'd say about 15?
Yeah, 14 or 15, yeah. They had to leave. They wanted to go, and their mum took them out of that same spot, you know?
Yeah.
And my thing is that, well, you were just in the middle of explaining how sometimes men who get hung don't die with their neck snapping automatically, and they...
Oh yeah, good point. This wasn't... This tour was not diluted for the kids.
And I can understand a 12-year-old kid getting freaked out and thinking they're seeing something and wanting to leave when they hear that. That's pretty confronting. Remember, for a 12-year-old, we're adults, you know, that's... If when I was a kid, that would have upset me. Yeah.
While... This isn't spoilers. While the noose is dangling in front of you.
Yeah, and
child height.
Yes, and also they tell you that the mechanism is completely functioning and working.
Yeah. Now, I will say, this is the first time I've been on a ghost tour where someone has had to leave.
Yes.
So I can't say, from here on out, that I don't believe that people sometimes have to leave
Yes.
the tour. I'm like,
It
you know
was-
what? I've seen it happen. That's fair.
It was the child, and it was the first time we've ever been on a ghost tour with a child.
Yep.
So, not a big enough, obviously, pool of analysis, but...
No, but I hadn't ever considered, when I've heard this before on previous ghost tours, that, sometimes when we get to this spot, the people have to leave. I'm like, were these people 12 years old?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Anyway, it happens.
I would like to talk about one more thing. To come back to something we talked about earlier. On Port Arthur, we went to the Isle of the Dead.
Yes, yep.
And we learnt about Mark Jeffrey, who was one of the 2 grave diggers who lived on the Isle of the Dead.
Yep.
He was not the pedophile. He was the
Nope.
second one.
He was angry man.
The angry, argumentative man that no one wanted to be around, so they stuck him out on the island.
Yep.
His cell was at this penitentiary tonight.
A cell that he lived in for
13
years. Ugh.
So what happened was he would get into so many fights and he was so argumentative that he was put in... It wasn't solitary confinement. It was considered the mental health cell.
He was in a cell alone, but it
Yeah.
wasn't like a dark, secret cell. Like he had a bell he could ring to call.
Yeah, if he needed
People.
help, he could call people. And there was Hessian padding on all the walls so they couldn't hurt themselves.
Yep.
But the view from out of his cell window was the noose.
Yeah.
Which... Anyway, he lived there for a long time, and eventually they decided to ship him to Port Arthur.
Yep.
And then we learnt that he kept getting into fights on Port Arthur and no one liked him, so they made him the grave digger out there.
Yeah.
And they reiterated it tonight, that apparently he had a religious or a ghostly experience one night where he claims
That's
he
true.
met the devil. And the devil told him to dig his own grave. Now, I don't think that the Isle of the Dead tour guide told us that fact.
No.
So, it was
the fact was that he dug his own grave and then also had some serious trouble, a fit, and they had to take him off the island.
Yes.
They didn't mention the devil.
No. So
That was new.
Yeah, so a bit of conflicting stories. I'm more willing to believe the Isle of the Dead tour guide Claire. She seemed to really care about his story and the other guy's story. And I feel
Yeah.
like she is probably the one who's going to tell the most accurate version. But I went into the gift shop after the tour and bought Mark Jeffrey's book that has the account.
His biography, not his autobiography.
No, just his biography, which has the historical account, hopefully, of his life.
Okay.
Written...
Have you read it yet?
Yeah, I read it as we walked back to the hotel by lamplight.
Is that why you weren't answering me?
So maybe you'll hear the account of the time he met the devil on Secondhand Haunting at a later date.
Yeah. No, I might be able to edit that in, depending on timing, for
Or
sure.
we can do another episode of it another time, a follow-up.
Aye, true.
Because you did get a lot of books this trip.
Oh, yeah. I gotta stop. I gotta stop going on holiday.
I will just say one more thing about the ghost tour is that they
Yeah.
do conveniently hand out lanterns to everyone, so it's throwing shadows everywhere. Every single surface has a shadow on it.
Yeah. Constantly changing as people are shifting and moving. And,
Yeah.
We got to sit in the... What was it called? The box? The bit in a courtroom where the guilty party sits. We got to sit in there.
Yeah, and everyone else sat in the jury box.
Yeah, it felt very weird. And then tour guide sat in the judge's chair. I don't know.
Did
so
you
I
feel
throw that
any
in.
hands grabbing your ankle while we're sitting
No,
there?
but we're also both wearing boots, so...
Yeah, can't touch these ankles.
No. Off limits.
So, alright, we've been talking for a long time.
We have. Do we want to do some awards
Yeah.
for the holiday? We had awards specifically for the story earlier, but excluding the story, do you have a favourite character? An MVP of the entire holiday?
I think I have one. I did like Reverend Eastman,
Yeah.
that we both liked him.
Big, tall, kind man.
Yeah, big, tall,
Yeah.
kind man. I think that tonight I really loved... There was a woman who was getting beaten by her husband, and in return she just basically killed him.
She beat him back.
Yeah, she beat
One
him
day.
back, and she got hung for it, and she was the only woman to be hung in that hanged in that penitentiary. And I just think, go off, Queen.
Yeah.
Like, I know that, you know, maybe it sucked that you died, but fucking get him. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
You've also
you will be remembered as the one woman who was hung there. Hanged there.
Yeah. You hung a painting, you hanged a person.
Mm-hmm.
You've also got your gravedigger buddy, Angry Man,
I don't know if I like him
the groundskeeper
necessarily.
Willie of colonial Australia.
I like the idea of the gravedigger living alone on that island, and the sort of philosophy of that as punishment, that no one else wanted him around, so they sentenced him to paradise. Like, that concept is something that I'm still thinking about, because no one down here seems to appreciate the beauty in terms of, like, and they were all banished to these islands. And it's like, yeah, and it's fucking beautiful down here. It's the most incredible vistas.
It is now.
Yeah, I suppose when it's winter, maybe it's not. But, you know, it's...
Well, it's also not a penal colony now.
Yes, I know, I understand. But, it just seems odd to be like, we hate you, go live alone on this island. And you're like, oh, no.
No, it's we hate you. Go build me a paradise on the other side of the world so I can go live there.
Yeah. What am I talking about? My MVP is Alonzo Johnson.
It's Alonzo Johnson, of course it is.
It's Alonzo. Can I buy Alonzo a headstone, please? They only get
A
headstones
memorial, because we don't know where he's buried.
No, we do. He's
we do?
buried in Newtown.
Ah,
They only get headstones if someone buys them for them.
okay.
Let me buy Alonzo headstone.
All right, if you're picking Alonzo, I'm picking Mark Jeffrey.
Oh, really?
The guy who would not stop fighting people.
Yes, it's true. Oh yeah, I don't think we mentioned, after they took him off of the island at Port Arthur, he got sent back to the Hobart Penitentiary, where
not stop fighting.
They put him back in his cell, and now there is a mannequin in that cell
that scared the shit out of me.
dressed up as him to memorialize the fact that he lived in that cell for so many years.
Now, do you have a word award?
Oh, it's hard to think because there's so many. If you go, I know what yours is.
You know what mine is.
What's yours, Callum?
No, we're ending the show on this one.
Okay.
Please don't snake it from me.
I like commandant.
Commandant. Yeah?
I like that word.
Yeah.
It's a really cool title.
It's a commanding name, isn't it?
Yeah.
Commanding title.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. I'm picking a word that I haven't heard in decades.
No.
A word that should not be said, just generally, and certainly not within the grounds of a horrific prison. Especially not multiple times. But I'll be damned if on the tour tonight I didn't hear the word weenus. And it broke the immersion completely.
Yeah,
The first time she said it.
Yeah. And you were like, ho, 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 ho. Okay. And
Weenus.
then, yeah.
Stop touching my weenus.
Uh-huh.
That's the tale of the time I got my weenus touched in the tunnel. What are you doing? You ruined it. Anyway,
Yep.
We're going to bed. We've been secondhand haunting. Thanks for going on holiday with us.
Bye.
This week's stories from 100 Tales from Australia's Most Haunted Places by Ben Pobjie and the dedicated tour guides at Port Arthur Historical Site and Hobart Penitentiary. Episode edited by Callum Patrick for the Peas in a Podcast Network.